Well, the holidays are often very bright, happy, and a joyful time for many, but for some, it is a tough time of the year.
No doubt. Depression and anxiety can increase for many folks during the holiday season, but there are ways to try and prevent it from getting in the way of holiday joy. Life coach David Essel joins us now to talk about some of the ways to combat these difficulties. Good morning, David. How are you today?
It's great to be with both of you guys today, and I will put a huge umbrella over your studio so that when you guys go out to your car, you're fine. Okay,
all right. We could use that. Yeah, there's a live look at what we're dealing with today.
Oh my goodness.
So David, I mean, you know, you and I both know this. We both lost parents. You know, the holidays can be very difficult. What is it about the holidays that kind of, you know, hit us so hard?
Well, you know, there's actually a therapeutic term for this. We call it situational depression, guys. And what that means is there are certain times of the year that individuals may feel more down, may feel more anxious. And this is a great one right now. When I say a great one, meaning this is a time of year that many people start to feel a little less than. If you've lost a loved one in the last couple of years, these holidays are different. If you've lost a pet, if you've lost a home, if you've lost a job, you know, everything can change in the matter of just 6 months or 2 or 3 or 4 years. So from a situational depression point of view, we see it all the time now. And we'll start to see it even more on the roads with irritability. Depression comes out in all kinds of different ways. And for some people who already have pre-existing conditions of depression or anxiety, and they're alone this year, or they don't have any plans, you know, this could actually deepen that feeling of depression or anxiety.
Obviously, depression is not just a switch you can turn on and off. But David, what is something that people might be able to do to help combat that feeling of depression?
Yeah, well, there's so many different, it's a great question. There's so many things we can do. And the very first thing I'm going to say is this, is reach out for help. You know, and there are many rabbis, ministers, priests, there's universities, colleges that offer really low-scale counseling. So the very first thing I'm going to say is to help you move through this period, go in and talk to someone. You know, they may end up saying that you should be on a 30 or a 60 or a 90-day regimen of an antidepressant, anti-anxiety to get through this period of time. I'm not a pill pusher, but if that's something that would really help you, oh my gosh, do it. The counseling part of it I mentioned, it's a huge one. You know, a lot of times it's being around other people that can help lift our depression. So is there any way that you can volunteer? Can you volunteer at your church, your temple, your synagogue? Can you get out and do something? There are nonprofits that you might be able to do things from home with. You know, you might be able to make calls for them or do mailings from them from your home. I mean, but the number one thing, guys, that we need to look at is that when you're facing either the anxiety or depression of the holiday season, we must act. And I know it's the hardest thing to do when you're feeling down and feeling low. You know, the other thing that a lot of times we'll say in therapy is that get a plant or a goldfish. You know, get something to take care of. I'm not saying get a cat or a dog if you're not an animal person, but, you know, look for something that depends on your attention on a daily basis. And that can help us get rid of or move through some of this holiday and seasonal depression.
David, what about if it's someone close to us who's dealing with this, not us ourselves, but, you know, I have a friend of mine who just lost his dad. This will be his first Christmas without his dad. What can we do to help that person?
Yeah, that's great. You know, the best thing to do is to sit with them and not to give advice. I mean, the worst thing to do is to give advice. You know, if I was in your shoes, I would do this to move through this depression, to move through the loss of your dad. You know, I would just sit and say, is there anything I can do for you? Is there anything I can get for you? Is there some way I can take some of this load off your shoulders? Would you like me to just sit and do you want to talk about what you're feeling? These are some of the greatest gifts we can give someone. And then the other thing would be like a grief recovery handbook for your friend, Steve, you know, where that you actually give him something that might actually help him move through this period. You know my story. I mean, the last year and a half, I lost my mom and dad. This will be the first Christmas without dad. So we're facing that as a family, and we're doing the things that I'm talking about right now because we can easily fall into that trap as well. It's a glorious time of year, but if you're in a certain kind of situation, you may have to work a little harder to make it through it and come out the other side better off than we are right now.
David, great tips, important topic. Thanks so much for coming on, and, you know, we're thinking of you this holiday season as well.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And happy holidays to everyone in Central New York, my hometown.
All right. Thanks, David. Appreciate you coming on. Again, if you can learn more about staying happy this holiday season, go to davidessel.com.